platform to talk about why racism is good. So, what's your thoughts about this kind of controversial issue of interviewing people who are white supremacists, something like that? Is that a good idea in your opinion, or not so good?
No, it's not a good idea. No. And, it's the whole Trump effect. All these people are coming out of the woodwork. They're, definitely a minority in this country. Just to see the kind of people that show up at Trump rallies and, are giving the middle finger to, the CNN people and their pens, and it's just, and the racism that's coming out of the closet. It's just very sad. You're not always aware that there's this underbelly of discontent in the country, this racist vein that runs through the country. It's always been there, but it doesn't become public until you get a president like Trump come along.
Yeah, that does seem to be one of the main problems that is facing this country in terms of race relations and things like that. So, yes, there's a lot of crazy moments in this interview, as you can imagine. So, King disputed Kessler's claim the First Amendment is under attack because he's about to march on Washington. Not the best argument, all things considered, and Kessler haughtily responded, "Well, I'm trying to explain it to you, but you're not listening to me." Well, that's great. King then asked Kessler about the speakers at the rally, which include former KKK Grand Wizard David Duke. I don't think you know anything about my rally, Kessler whined. I haven't announced who the speakers are, unless you're going off left-wing rumor mills. Kessler listed the speakers, however, in his National Park Service application. King pointed this out, and Kessler responded, "They said numerous times that I don't want neo-Nazis at my rally, and they're not welcome." Good thing, because they are having some issues with him as well. So, and then eventually he got to the differences between the races, and on a Friday morning commute, that's probably exactly what they wanted to hear about. She asked him, "Do you think that white people are smarter than black people?" And then King just goes, King asked that, and then Kessler then says, "There seems to be enormous variation between individuals." And then he says, "Jews are the highest, and Asians and white people," which is really crazy stuff. And then, obviously, it's just, very, very disturbing stuff right there, just to say the least. Anyway, I think it's just very important that these people are not given a platform because they just affect more people in that way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these neo-Nazi type groups, white supremacist groups, are hiding behind for their First Amendment right, and yet a lot of times their speech is hate speech, violent, or it borders on that. And you got people like Alex Jones who are doing the same thing and have a big megaphone on the internet, and it's all very destructive, and it's not good for our country, and the First Amendment cannot support these people. You have to draw a line, and I applauded that Apple and Facebook and Spotify, threw Alex Jones off their platforms.
Yeah, it definitely is a slippery slope when you have people like that gaining power and people like that getting in the mainstream, but also is, in a way, a slippery slope when you ban controversial people. But there's a difference between controversial and being Alex Jones, who is literally breaking the rules of people of these sites. So he didn't really deserve to be on them. He was spreading hateful, racist content. He was also spreading some pretty conspiratorial, defamatory content. So, I mean, I think that's something that really had a lot of people, especially on the left and the right, people online who have, say, controversial things on the left, they were a little bit torn up about that. It's another very big issue. But on that note, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining us. And it's a pleasure to have you on for the first time ever in the studio today. Mm-hmm. It's been a lot of fun to have you here We hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you so much. This has been Newsflash.